Okay. This week's Torah portion is a continuation of last week's Torah portion, Jacob's ladder. Huge, huge Torah portion. A lot of significant, valuable lesson. So big that actually I need a prop to help explain it. So we found it in the basement of TBT. It's actually the original Jacob's ladder. So we had our work people cleaned it off. It's pretty dusty after about 6,000 years. Anyway, so there's like a little J here. I assume that's, we're just assuming that stands for Jacob. So Jacob's ladder. Okay. I guess most of you were here last week for Rabbi's sermon on Jacob's ladder. Some of you were, some of you weren't. Anyway, well, for those of you who were not here last week, the Torah portion last week was Jacob's ladder. Jacob, you may have heard of him, kind of famous guy for us Jews in the Jewish Bible. Actually, kind of famous for a lot of religions, not just Jews, actually. Jacob has a dream. He dreams there's this ladder that extends from the earth all the way to heaven. So it kind of, got the model or representation of that here. The ladder is extending, from the ground up to where the Torah is. The Torah is kind of as close as we can, get to God, generally. So got a representation here. Jacob has a dream about the ladder, and on the ladder there's angels going up and forth, or back and forth. They're coming down to earth, going up to heaven. So the Torah portion makes clear it's a dream. Okay, something I think we can all relate to. I hope everyone here, dreams. And you have everyone. You have good dreams. You have bad dreams. And it's up to you to decide which dreams are you interested in. It's a lot of dreams. Anyway, so in general, as far as we're still relatively early in the Torah here. And in general in the Torah, been very basic information. God started everything in the beginning. God had all the power. Gradually, God transfers the powers that God had to us humans. So just like God originally, we humans, we have the power to create. We can make people, just like God. We also have the power to destroy. We can, if you so choose, we can kill people, just like God. And also, we're given responsibility for the earth. Originally, God did everything. Gradually, that responsibility was transferred to us people. We're responsible for taking care of all the people in the world. We're responsible for all the animals in the world. We're responsible for all the plants, really like everything. So all this responsibility has been transferred to us. As far as it's really like a parent-child type story. God's the parent. We're the children. We're growing up. We're maturing. We're gradually doing like what our parents did. So God gives us some parental type advice, and God says, as you grow up, you can do good or you can do bad. The choice is yours. But I will warn you, you're always going to be tempted to do bad. Okay? That's just the way I made you. That's the way you are. You got to accept it. You're always going to be tempted to do bad. And in the Jewish Bible, God makes no prediction. This is important. God makes no prediction that we're going to do good. God says you're always going to be tempted by bad. There's no prediction, no promise that we're going to do good, but God says it's possible to do good. So it's free will. That's our religion. That's who we are. Everyone everyone's like that. Our ancestors were like that, we're like that, our descendants will be like that. We can all do good or bad. No prediction, no fate, no prophecy, other than God says it's possible that you can do good. And in the big picture, as far as Jacob's ladder, when we do bad, we're brought down to the ground, like Jacob was compared to the ladder. When we do good, that helps lift us up towards the heaven, like the angels climbing up. So the specific background of this Torah portion is the previous Torah portion. Jacob and Esau were twins, but Esau was born first. So technically Esau was the firstborn. And traditionally, based on the rules, the firstborn would get the inheritance and the blessing of the father. I mean, the blessing really meant the inheritance, like what the father had, most or not all of it, if you have the firstborn. And if you were not firstborn, you can't count on your own. So Jacob famously tricks his father into making his father Isaac think that he is Esau. And Isaac mistakenly gives the blessing and therefore the inheritance to Jacob. So Jacob stole Esau's birthright from Esau, no question. Not a good thing. When Esau found out, he went totally emotional reaction. He decided he was going to kill Jacob, but he was going to mourn his Isaac, his father, passed away shortly after. So he decided he's going to mourn his father, and he decided he's going to kill Jacob. He's not going to think about it. He's just, as soon as the mourning's done, he's going to kill Jacob, his brother. Jacob, on the other hand, Jacob, rather than having an emotional response, like making his decision at that moment, say deciding he's just going to run away, or he's going to kill Esau first, or he's just going to fight him. Esau thinks about it, and decides that he's going to retreat. He's going to go away and give Esau hopefully some time to cool off, and it's going to give Jacob some time to think about how he can try to reconcile with his brother. Because again, Jacob stole the birthright from his brother, but it is his brother. There weren't as many people back then, so like being a brother was probably relatively more important even than it is now. So that's the background. So in our Torah story, that has a lot of modern applicability, the question is for really on Jacob's side, is he going to choose good or is he going to choose evil? Choice is his. He could try to kill Esau. He could just try to hide, or could try to reconcile, do something good. It kind of translates into kind of like one of those old joke questions. How many steps does it take for a Jew to change the light? So I guess we're going to find out. We're going to use Jacob's ladder to climb up and find out what Jacob's solution was. And I think it has a lot of modern relevance too. So I'm just going to let the quotes from the Torah kind of guide us up the ladder. And Jacob was left alone, and there wrestled a man with him until breaking of the day. And when he saw that he prevailed not against him, he touched the hollow of his thigh, and the hollow of Jacob's thigh was strained as he wrestled with him. And he said, "Let me go, for the day breaketh." And he said, Jacob said, "I will not let thee," the angel, "go, except thou bless me." And the angel said to him, and he said unto him, "What is thy name?" Jacob said, "Jacob." The angel said, "Thy name shall be called no more Jacob, but thou hast striven with God and with men, and hast prevailed. So we got step one. See how this is going to work, but step one. Jacob, this I think is the Torah portion is indicating that this was a dream Jacob had. He's really, in reality, he's struggling with what he's going to do about Esau. So he has a dream that is kind of about his struggle between good and evil. What's he going to do? But really, Jacob probably had a lot of dreams. Okay, probably had nightmares about being killed by Esau or killing Esau, and maybe they're both fighting, horribly maimed. But this dream is the Torah story we did. I think that the lesson here is listen to your dreams, but you can choose. Choose to listen to the good dreams. You don't have to listen to the bad dreams or the nightmares. It's important to be optimistic. All right. We continue with the Torah portion, another important part. And Jacob lifted up his eyes and looked, and behold, Esau came, and with him 400 men. And he divided the children unto Leah, and unto Rachel, and unto the 2 handmaids. And he put the handmaids and their children foremost, and Leah and her children after, and Rachel and Joseph hindermost. He put a lot of thought into it. And he himself passed over them, and bowed himself to the ground 7 times, until he came near to his brother. He's treating his brother with respect. Maybe his brother will reciprocate. And Esau ran to meet him, and embraced him, and fell on his neck, and kissed him, and they wept. So, Jacob went to Esau in a contrite manner. He decided he wasn't going to run away. He wasn't going to fight. He offered his friendship and the brother relationship to Esau. And he let Esau choose Esau's reaction. Jacob made his decision. He wanted to reconcile. He wasn't going to fight. This was his brother. I think he recognized he was wrong to steal the birthright. And it was only fair that Esau make the decision. Were they going to reconcile or not? Continue with the Torah. And Esau said, who are these with thee? Jacob said, the children whom God hath graciously given thy servant. So Jacob brings his cute little kids, okay? So kind of hard to be angry at, parenting at cute little kids, right? Then the handmaids came near, they and their children, they bowed down to Esau. And Leah also and her children came near and bowed down. So Jacob created this whole production. He put a lot of thought into it. It was really important to him to try to reconcile with Esau. But he was passive and subservient. He made it clear it was Esau's decision. And he said, this is Esau, what meanest thou by all this camp which I met? And Jacob said, to find favor in the sight of my Lord Esau. He's trying to reconcile with him. So, step 2. Step 2. The message here is to be willing to try new things and take a step. And don't be stuck in what you've done in the past or on previous steps. The world is pretty young at this point in time. Generally, like if someone cheated you, even if it was your brother, you take revenge. So Jacob he tried something new. He tried, I'll get to it in the 3rd step, but Jacob was trying something new here. But the important part here is what Jacob didn't do. He didn't do what generally would have been done in the past, is fight for what he had. Either protect what he had, or if he thought he was weaker, just run away. He is trying to reconcile and leaving the decision to his brother. Continue with the Torah portion. And Jacob said, nay, I pray thee, if now I have found favor in thy sight, then receive my present at my hand. Basically, Jacob brought half of his holdings, mainly like livestock. He brought it with him, half, okay? So that's what Jacob Jacob saying when he says, receive my present at my hand. For as much as I have seen thy face, as one seeth the face of God. And remember that previously God explained that as far as seeing God is seeing good deeds, seeing good attributes. You see the hungry being fed, you're seeing God. When you see the poor being clothed, you're seeing God. So Jacob references that and says, try to reconcile and be brotherly. And by doing that, you're seeing God. Jacob continues, because God hath dealt graciously to me, and because I have enough. And Jacob urged Esau, his brother, to take his gift, half of the inheritance that Esau should have had. And Esau took it. Esau, based on Jacob put a lot of thought into his presentation. Again, he didn't run away, he didn't fight. He wanted to reconcile. He was really counting on the brotherly relationship. And he sold it to Esau. So, step 3. Be willing to negotiate and compromise, just like Jacob did. Jacob, through trickery, got all the inheritance. And his brother was predictably, justifiably angry. His brother decided he was going to kill Esau. It's not necessarily predictable, but anyway, so Jacob sized up the situation. He thought about it. He gave Esau a chance to cool off, and he came up with a plan. He waited, and then he met his brother. He treated his brother with respect, basically admitting he was wrong to take all the inheritance. He not only offered to give his brother half of the inheritance back, but he insisted that his brother take it. His brother was moved by the gesture and accepted. So, the lesson is, again, to, in this life, and also in any wars that happen to be going on right now, be willing to compromise and be willing to negotiate and be willing to compromise. And as my wise old Jewish boss used to say, he'd say, Joe, and he said that because that was my name, he'd say, Joe, do you know what the perfect deal is? The perfect deal is when both sides end up not liking it. That's what he wouldn't explain it. He would say that. What it meant was the perfect deal is you're compromised. So that neither side is getting exactly what they wanted. But you're talking, you're not fighting. And talking is almost always better than fighting. Thank you. Shabbat Shalom. And now, have a related musical number. You got to emphasize the point of ascending the ladder to kind of like defy gravity. Gravity makes him. There may be like a movie or something. It's just a coincidence.